Loud Esmond and Jeremy James. For the best takes in NFL and football betting, fantasy football, and the latest news, get ready to steer the line.
Hi, everyone. I am Christian Giordano, your host today for Steer the Line. Once again, joining us is Jeremy James. How you doing, Jeremy? It's good to see your face.
Yeah, I'm doing good. I missed you guys. Well, I missed most of you. I'm not going to tell you who I didn't miss. No, just kidding. No, it's good to be back.
It's
good
great
to be
to have
back.
you back.
It's been like 6 weeks. I don't think I've done but one like regular season show with you guys so far.
Yeah,
So
along with Jeremy James.
It's been a cluster thing, It's been a crazy season. Loud. Go ahead, Christian. Finish your introductions, and I'll introduce my guest.
Can he finish the introduction before you just launch it? Okay.
Yeah.
Along with Jeremy James, we have always our betting prognosticating expert, Mr. Loud Esmond, my father right below me, Rocky Giordani, with a special guest he has here today for the first few seconds of our program.
Yes. So, listen, I want to just tell you guys that Steer the Line is semi-famous, well, with everybody in the United States. But I have a friend of mine, Melissa Guerrero, who's she with Canadian Noticias, 15:50 a.m. in Tijuana, Mexico. She flew out to come on the show to tell us that they've actually played portions of Steer the Line. Melissa, and I will translate. She doesn't speak English. You tell me what you told. Tell me what you told me. Dile a usted, me digas a mí. Yeah. So a lot of, can you hear okay?
You got to get her closer to the mic. She may want to lean in a little bit.
Yeah, anyway, so what she said was that her radio show, they actually ran a piece of Steer the Line for their bettors, and
nice.
their audience expanded. Because evidently Mexicans are coming aboard with football Americano.
Well, especially there's a huge number of Raiders fans in Mexico.
Yeah.
Very large contingent of Raiders fans in Mexico, and of course, Costa Rica is a home of a lot of online betting companies because Costa Rica is a stable democracy. Everything's on a menu in Costa Rica. Gambling is legal, along with lots of other things that aren't legal in other countries. And it's a safe haven to have lots of money and a stable government. So what is your guest? Is she an on-air personality?
Yes, she on-air. Canadian Noticias, 15:50 a.m. She also writes a column, which occasionally appears in Mike Thompson's column on ESPN. She is the beat journalist for the Tijuana Club soccer team. It's called the Tijuana Club, is the name of the soccer team, and they're currently in first place. So she came on to tell us that. So she's gonna steer the line, she said. The chicks, Christian, you have followers in Mexico. The chicks like Christian, but the guys who are actually listening to Steer the Line for prognosticating Loud, you're in, and they comment to Melissa on that. So she said she'd come on the show.
I think I'm actually going to make a lot of people angry in Mexico because I have some very negative things to say about the Raiders. So Jeremy and I can talk about that. Well, it's great to have you on the show. By the way, please liberally use our information from the show, and we should do something with her on the Steer the Line YouTube page.
Yes.
Like if she can do something in Spanish that we can run on the YouTube channel, that'd be fantastic.
Great. Está invitándote por otra ocasión cuando tú quieras otra parte del show que tenemos en YouTube. Dice gracias para usarnos todo nuestra parte de Steer the Line para nuestra audiencia que está creciendo. Gracias por todo. Te invito a volver cuando tú quieras. ¿Ah?
Muchas gracias por su invitación.
¿Y qué más?
What he said.
Yeah. What she said.
What you said. What they said. Did we lose Jeremy?
Again, we just got him back.
Sorry about that.
Here he is. All right, he's coming back.
Thanks for the invitation. Thanks for the invitation, and thanks to me, her favorite actress. She's evidently my movies do okay in Tijuana,
By the
and she's
way,
going to go work on a can.
is she aware of the huge college football game being played tomorrow?
Which one?
Do they follow? I don't think they follow college football in Mexico, but
No sigue tanto de fútbol americano en colegio, ¿no? De nivel universidad, solo profesional. No tanto, no.
No.
Okay, well, all right.
No, sorry, not too much.
So let's roll this clip. It's going to introduce this huge college football game that's being played tomorrow between number 1 and number 2, and then we'll get some commentary on the other side. Christian, roll it.
Yes. Hold up, sorry.
Oh,
rolling.
Production issues.
Still rolling.
Still rolling. Still waiting. Hey.
Rolling.
Anyway.
Does anybody else remember that show, Rawhide? Am I the only?
Yeah, I do.
Hold up.
Actually.
I think people know the song more than the show at this point.
Yeah, exactly. It's just sort of a memory that's lost somewhere. Anyway, so the number 1 team in the country, the Tennessee Volunteers, will be taking on the Georgia Bulldogs. And here we go.
Here we go.
Or at least, there's no sound, Christian.
No sound.
I guess not. Sorry. Little technical difficulties. We'll get this started
All right,
right
so
away.
Actually, nothing's changed in 6 weeks.
I'll just walk through it,
Nothing.
okay?
Welcome
Go ahead
back,
and
brother.
take it down,
Right where you
Christian.
left
I'll
us.
walk through it. So the number 1 team in the country in college football is the Tennessee Volunteers. Tennessee will be taking on the former number 1 team and national champion from last year, the Georgia Bulldogs. The game's going to be played in Georgia. Tennessee has the number 1 offense. Georgia has the number 4 defense. Classic clash of strength against strength. And the game opened with the Georgia Bulldogs, a 12.5-point favorite, almost 2 touchdowns. That moved down now all the way to 8.5. So almost a third of the points have been erased that you could have gotten at the beginning of the week with Georgia. Now all the way down to 8.5, basically just a touchdown, because that 1.5 points doesn't really make that much difference in football math. And I got to say, I think it's a bit of a toss-up. I know I'm the only guy who really follows National Collegiate Football closely, but Tennessee took down Alabama a couple of weeks ago, which doesn't happen. Alabama doesn't lose much at all, especially to other SEC teams. So Alabama losing to Tennessee, I think there's every chance that Tennessee could beat Georgia. For some reason, they're not getting a lot of respect from the professional bettors, but 70% of the public money is on Tennessee, but that's usually a bad sign, right, Rocky?
Well, I got it finally.
Yeah, I have
Rocky,
the picks right here. I
all
remember
the
that
public
game
money is on
when
one
Tennessee
side.
played Alabama. Yeah.
Sorry?
What do you mean? When all the public money? Well, the smart money comes in later. That's what we call the smart money
Right.
waiting to come in. The first spread bets that come in move the line. The smart money waits till after the line moves. So that's what we're talking about. But hey, we actually touted that game against Alabama, Lou, and I took Tennessee, and they beat them. Yeah, I bet you. Remember, Chris?
And I honestly said, I'm not betting against Alabama because I got burned earlier in the season betting against Alabama, and I said I wasn't going to do it again. And of course, that time they beat them. Anyway, we'll see what happens.
Like you said, we don't do a lot of college, but I'm with you. I like Tennessee. I like them in the game.
All right, and then I'm just going to put this one out there because it's an official pick for me. It's my best bet college football tomorrow. Clemson plays the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. They are playing at Notre Dame. That line opened Clemson -5.5. It's moved 2 points in favor of the Irish. It's now Clemson -3.5. Notre Dame does not do well against Clemson. They've lost to Clemson by 20 or more points twice in the last 3 meetings. And then they were losing by 7 points with 1 minute and 41 seconds to go at Notre Dame 2 years ago. And they got a lucky touchdown late. The game went to overtime. Notre Dame ended up winning by 6. Well, this ain't the same Notre Dame team. This isn't Brian Kelly coaching. They don't have the same level of talent at receiver. They don't have the same level of talent at quarterback. Clemson is not going to get pushed around in the running game. I think this number moving this direction, I think, is crazy. I like Clemson by like 10 in this game, and I'm a Notre Dame fan, so that tells you what I think of Notre Dame's chances in this game. And I'm done with college football now, Jeremy, so we can move on.
Okay, great. The NFL trade deadline just passed, and it's one of the
first pick of the week. There you got it, Clemson.
Well, the NFL trade line happened, and it's been one of the craziest trade deadlines that I can remember. Obviously we had Christian McCaffrey going to San Francisco, starting it off, being a crazy trade. But the Eagles' defense might have just got even better than they already are with acquiring Robert Quinn with only giving up a 4th. A lot of people say Robert Quinn.
Why the Raiders didn't do that is beyond me.
Yeah, I think
why the Rams didn't do that is beyond me.
Again, it's a great.
Hey, let's get Jeremy in here. Jeremy, you just
let's go, Jeremy. I'm here
like you want to come in, so let's go.
Oh, I was just saying the Raiders didn't make any moves because they were 2-5. I think if they beat New Orleans and they look good doing so, they make some kind of move to get this team a little more over the hump. But at this point, they don't want to invest any money or draft picks on a team that's 2-5 and not sure where they're going defensively.
Fact, it's a team that is humpless. They are a humpless team now because there's no hump to get over.
Yeah.
They're just tough.
So, there were moves that people thought they were going to make, maybe some guys that they were going to trade off. It didn't happen. They were quiet and kind of expected.
They're going to have a super high draft pick in the first round, so why not?
Yeah, you don't want to give that away right now.
No, but with the acquirement of Robert Quinn, where does this put the Eagles' defense? Where they're already top 3, top 5.
Oh yeah,
I want to see them play somebody.
I agree, but they're still undefeated.
They have the easiest schedule in the NFL.
They don't control the schedule.
One signature win was against Dallas with a quarterback not named Dak Prescott, and the game was played in Philly. I don't respect any of their wins yet, honestly. They haven't played anybody.
Yeah. They can only beat the teams that are on their schedule.
No, I understand that.
Yeah, they have to beat them. That's it.
I understand that, but I'm saying, Rocky, come in.
We can't hear you.
Come in, Rocky. We can't hear you. Did you turn your mic off or mute yourself?
You're muted.
Yeah,
okay.
He's muted.
No.
Well, while we wait,
Rocky.
If we're still talking over you, Rock.
There's Rocky.
Hey, there we go.
So listen, I don't like Philadelphia's chances. They're one and done in the playoffs. They play one playoff team the whole year, Green Bay Packers, and who cares? I don't think much of the Eagles. I'm with you, Lou. I think they're one and done in the playoffs.
All right. Well, another trade I want to talk about is what I'm calling why the hell did they do this trade? Minnesota acquired T.J. Hawkinson and 2 4th-round picks for a 2nd and a 3rd from their division rival, Detroit Lions. Why would Detroit do this trade? It makes no sense for them.
Loud, I have no idea.
They're rebuilding. That may have been the best offer they got. Even going into a division rival. Maybe they feel like, Hawkinson's not that big of a threat. I disagree. Putting him in that offense is kind of a big deal. But they're rebuilding in Detroit. They're going to want those early picks. They're going to need those early picks. So shoving a tight end off to a division rival for a 2nd and a 3rd they picked up.
A 2nd and a 3rd, and they had to give up 2
for a
4s.
rebuilding team. I think it's a good move.
They had to give up 2 4s for it.
He wasn't really doing a great job in Detroit
what are you talking about? Hawkins?
What are you talking about? He was one of the best tight ends in football.
3 touchdowns.
No, I only saw the last game, I guess.
He's around almost
Here's
500
why.
yards already in the season.
Did he really?
Let me end the conversation as I usually
Go.
do. Here's why. They suck at defense. They need so much help on defense. They're scoring in the top of the league, and they're losing because they're losing 39-35. The Seahawks hung 42 points on them. So unless you get more talent on defense, you're not going to win games. And the other thing is, Jared Goff, for you Rams fans out there, is not the answer at quarterback, is he?
Evidently not.
Hurts to say.
No.
No.
And I think they'll go quarterback in the first round, and that's why they want those extra 2s and 3s to build that defense.
Yeah, I think they're going to go quarterback.
But
They
TJ
got everything else they
Hawkins-
need in the
and then go
offense.
defense.
Yeah.
I think they got a plan.
Another trade that I also want to say, what the hell happened? Chase Claypool went to Chicago for a second-round pick. Chicago overpaid extremely for Chase Claypool. Second-round pick alone should not get you Clays. The other offers revolving around Chase Claypool were fourth-round picks.
The other question for me with Chicago is, how is a receiver going to make you any better
On a contract
when
year.
you're giving away all of your – they gave away Khalil Mack, the
Roquan.
receiver
Robert Quinn.
that they gave to the Rams,
Roquan Smith was the one that caught my surprise.
Roquan Smith.
Robert
Leading
Quinn's
the
gone.
NFL in
Allen
tackles.
Robinson's gone.
So
Yeah.
you fire the team and then give the Steelers a second-round pick for a, decent receiver. What are you doing?
Not
What is
even
the plan,
decent.
Chicago?
Yeah, exactly. There's no point. He's on a contract year. He's not going to come back to Chicago.
See, and now, and we'll talk about the picks a little bit later, but I tell you, I really love Miami now against Chicago this
I do too.
weekend.
Especially with the acquirement of Bradley Chubb.
Yeah,
Great guy to have
the
on the
Dolphins
offensive line.
got a great pass rusher, and the Chicago Bears have given away all their talent on defense to get a decent wide receiver and give up a second-round pick. Their management is as bad as the Denver Broncos right now. Just throwing it out there.
It's been one of the worst. And now, I think this is my favorite. Oh, go ahead, Jeremy.
I was going to say, it looks like Chicago thinks throwing wide receivers at the problem will fix the passing game when the passing game is not the receiver's
The problem
fault.
is the quarterback.
Yeah.
Right.
Now, I think this is my favorite trade so far. Calvin Ridley, who bet against Jacksonville and what caused him his 1-year suspension,
Right? That's
got
so hilarious.
traded to Jacksonville from Atlanta for a fifth on conditional base, a fourth on conditional base, and then playing time. If he exceeds a certain amount of playing time, they get a third.
And what that tells me about Jacksonville, when you are willing to give up some capital to get a receiver who can't even play this year, is you believe in the direction that your team is going.
And I believe in them as well. I think Trevor Lawrence is that guy. He's going to be a great quarterback in
He's
this
got to
league.
cut his hair.
Well,
He's
Tom
got
Brady
to
at
cut his
5,
hair.
6.
He's got girl hair. He's got to cut
Yeah,
the
you gotta
hair.
look like a
or-
football player before you can be one.
Yeah, he's got to look like a football player.
But like he's such a SoCal surfer dude with the hair.
For a
It
football
works.
fan, Lou, you're very caught up on the man's hair. Let me tell you that. That's-
Aaron
yeah.
Rodgers, ever since he put the man bun in, has been terrible.
I think that was the acid.
He's got
but-
lovely flowing locks. I'm jealous of the man. Come on.
And Trevor Lawrence's hair is girl hair. So he needs to cut it. And if he doesn't, they're not going to be a good team. But I still am going to take him against the Raiders this weekend.
I completely agree. And now since we went,
Let's get on. Finish
You
up
wanna
the
do
trade.
some picks?
Finish up the trade deadline.
that's pretty
All right.
much it. Go ahead.
Well,
All right,
the Rams
so
didn't
let's
do
go
anything.
ahead and start with some picks. Jeremy, I hate the Raiders against the Jaguars this weekend. The Raiders suck, as you know, on the East Coast. They suck in early window games. And here's the thing that really bothered me when I looked it up. I was like, I wonder how good Josh McDaniels is at fixing teams coming off a loss. with the Denver Broncos over his 1.5 years, he had multiple 4 and 5 game losing streaks. You know how often NFL teams lose more than 3 games in a row? It's like 5%.
That's
This
tough.
dude, the coach of the Raiders currently, who I bleed silver and black. You know this. We've been to Raiders games together at that crap Oakland Coliseum over the years. They suck. They played with no heart at New Orleans. They stayed on the East Coast and practiced in Florida this week. Like that's going to make a difference. It looks like Carr and McDaniels can't stand each other. Jeremy, where am I wrong? What is the hope for the Raiders fan this weekend against Jacksonville?
This is a big game, and in the fact that that's exactly what I want to see, and I think what Raider Nation is going to want to see is, can the coach bring that team back after a huge loss like that? I mean, that was just embarrassing. What happened to him last week. So can you suck it up? Can you get your team together, and can you go put a winning product on the field? Despite the early game, despite the East Coast and all that stuff, and the loss last week, can they bounce back? If they can't bounce back from this, the season is. I mean, I don't have a lot of hope for the season, but the season's absolutely done. They lose this game and they can't bounce back, because that proves that this coaching staff is not ready to lead this team where it needs to go this year. Maybe next year they get better. Maybe the year after that. But if they can't bounce back from this one, they're done for the season.
Coach, there's a lot of games like that this week. Rams and the Buccaneers. It comes down who's going to save their season. That game right there.
Hang on.
Just like you said,
We're doing picks, Rocky. So let's get a pick. All right. It's Jaguars plus 1.5 against the Raiders. I'm taking the Jaguars on the money line to win outright.
I know I'm gonna probably end up losing this one, but I'm gonna stick with the Raiders. I'm gonna homer it. I always do. The Jaguars, while they've looked good at times, and they've had some spurts, they're still not a great team yet. And they got the same record as the Raiders right now. These are two bad teams, desperate for a win.
They have one more loss than the Raiders, actually.
Yeah, so both desperate for a win. The Jaguars are at home, so they have that advantage. But I'm gonna stick with the Raiders.
Yeah, I think Devontae Adams and Derek Carr are just going to have one game that they're finally going to click, and they're both going to go off, and I think this is this game. I don't know if it's going to lead to a win, but I definitely know.
All right, so it's 3-1 against Lou. I've got the Raiders. Everybody else. Yeah. I've got the Jaguars. Everybody else is on the Raiders.
Raiders, yeah.
The Falcons and the Chargers. You want to know a crazy stat, you bettors out there? This is how deep I get into this. I dug into teams coming off the bye and wins and losses by spread. And this is what I came up with. Most of the time, coming off a bye week, home or away, it doesn't make much of a difference. But here's a weird anomaly. Road favorites coming off a bye, 7 points or under, win at a 70% clip. Road favorites coming off a bye, spread of 7 points or less, win at a 70% clip. We have one game this weekend where that's the case. The Chargers, -3 at the mighty Atlanta Falcons, led by the former Raiders quarterback. Just kidding. Ryan, not Tannehill, Marcus Mariota.
The greatest Raider quarterback of all time.
I loved this originally, and then I saw the Chargers injury report today. No Bosa, no Allen, -2 offensive linemen, and all the Falcons. The Falcons are the top spread covering team in the NFL.
Yes. Yeah. They were undefeated against the spread until last week, I believe, right?
Yes. Crazy.
along with all those guys out, Khalil Mack is still questionable.
Yeah, it's a train wreck for the Chargers. I wanted to go the other way, but I saw that injury report and I went, oh no. Falcons -3 against the Chargers. Jeremy.
With all the injuries, I kind of like the Falcons in this one. They've been scrappy. They've been fun to watch. And the Chargers have been struggling. A lot of it is injuries and whatnot. But to go in there with no Williams and no Keenan Allen, I don't even know the name of the guy he's going to be throwing to as his number one receiver this week.
Mo, Larry, and Curly.
There you go. Yeah. So, I like
Williams.
the Falcons in the upset in this one.
Yeah. I do agree. I like Atlanta in this game a lot. Marcus Mariota is bound to have a game where he's going to go off again. And he does very good against the Chargers defense in his career. So I really enjoyed this game.
I believe I said at the beginning of the year when we did one of our preseason shows, the Falcons will have 3 of the tallest wide receivers in the NFL and
Drake
Pitts,
London, yeah,
and a mobile quarterback. And you know what's been giving teams fits is the running game for the Falcons is just driving people crazy because it's this weird sort of option thing they do, a lot like the Eagles. And when you have a running quarterback, it's tough. It's tough to defend. All right, so we're on the Falcons.
Add us back, Christian.
there he is.
All right, so Rocky, Falcons -3 with the Chargers coming into town. 3 of us are on the Falcons -3. Where are you?
I'm on the Chargers +3. I thought they were going to come back last week
Minus.
to save their season, but it's coming down to the wire. This is it. They need this win if they're going to have any chance of making the playoffs at all. They need this win. I don't like Atlanta's chances of making the playoffs anyway, so I don't think it's as important for them. Of course, they're at home. Who's coming off the bye weekend, Lou?
Chargers.
Chargers.
Well, I like them. I'm going to go with the trend.
All right, Christian, we have a bunch more picks to make. I'm just going to throw these out there, and I'll explain them on the other side. Bills -11.5, Seahawks +2, Titans +12.5, and I've got a 5-team teaser bet that I love, but I think we're running out of time in this first half hour. We can discuss it on the other side.
Well, Sean already left, so everyone who was watching on KMT 1490 AM. Yeah,
First
everyone's
half hour
watching.
books, we're going to YouTube now.
We are now on YouTube on Steer the Line. That's STER, the line. Everyone on YouTube, thank you very much.
All right, so let's do a reset. Right, Jeremy? That's what you do at the top of the and bottom of the hour,
Okay,
correct?
our guest would
usually.
like to excuse herself.
She's recusing herself?
Excuse.
Oh. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So,
Yes,
what we were
she's gonna
just
work on a
discussing.
pen. She came here to work on a pen. He said, thank you. Gracias. All right,
Oh,
so
it's funny. I'm going to be
second
gone
half of the
next
show,
two
right?
Fridays
We're on
to go to
YouTube now.
Mexico.
So I can say, damn it.
Yeah, you can say damn
Are you
it.
really?
By the
Yeah.
way, speaking of damn it,
Well, listen to
I
1550
had a
a.m., baby.
crap I had a crap week betting last week, except I got the 49ers blowing out the Rams right. Just
I knew
throwing
it.
it out there.
I was waiting for it.
Misery loves company.
Yes, well, we all
That's true.
know that.
We're all weeping on our teams.
We all knew it was coming. We all knew
Now,
it
there
was
is
coming.
one thing
And by
I do
the
want
way-
to talk about.
Go ahead.
Well,
Rocky.
we were
I
talking
think,
about the trade deadline.
49ers.
One or the other, guys. One or the other.
So we were talking about the trade line earlier this segment, and a big name that was walking around the league was Kareem Hunt, and the asking price around him was for a 4th-round pick, and a lot of teams were passing on it. But from an inside source that I have, it was talked about that the Rams had a done deal with Cleveland to get a 5th and a 6th to get Kareem Hunt, and apparently nothing happened out of it. That was the only move Kareem Hunt, the Rams had this offseason, and nothing worked for it. Obviously, they tried to pursue Christian McCaffrey, but That didn't work out, and now I guess the thing with Kareem Hunt never worked out, and that's a shame for the Rams. But for Kareem's Hunt career, I think it's the best. Continue.
Okay, so it comes right back, Chris. It comes right back down to the same reason. They have no draft capital. They got nothing to trade with. Nobody wants Cam Akers. They couldn't get anything for Cam Akers. And believe me, they were shopping Cam Akers right up to the deadline. They couldn't get rid of him and get anything that they could give anybody for another running back. They wanted Kareem Hunt. Couldn't work it out because they have nothing. They tried to unload Akers anything. If they could have got anything to give somebody, they would have been Kareem Hunt. It didn't work out.
Ladies and gentlemen, the beautiful thing is Rocky is in beautiful, warm Costa Rica tonight at his home there, but it does present a challenge sometimes in terms of bandwidth. So we just have to live with that. Let me recap the picks we have so far tonight. Loud Esmond has Tennessee plus 8.5 against Georgia. Clemson minus 3.5 at the Fighting Irish. We're all on the Falcons plus 3 with the Chargers coming into town except for Rocky. And everybody except for Jeremy is backing the Jaguars, the Raiders on Sunday. That leaves 1, 2, 3 single game picks that I have, plus a massive teaser card. Jeremy, do you have any other subject matter that you want to get out here on the table before we go to more picks?
No, we can just keep going through the picks, and I'm sure I'll figure out something I want to say about each random team that we talk about here.
The Bills.
What do you got next?
The Bills play the Jets. This is a road game, supposedly for the Bills, but it's only a 5-hour bus ride. It's not. They're not traveling across the country or changing time zones or anything for the Bills. And let's face it, the Jets are in disarray right now. Their offensive line is injured. Their quarterback looked a little confused last week. The running back that was doing great in the early season, the rookie, he's gone for the season. I know everybody's high on their quarterback tandem of what is the guy's name? Not Smoke Monday. It's Sauce Gardner.
Yeah, Sauce Gardner.
And
say
what
Smoke Monday?
Well, that's the name of a quarterback in college football right now.
Is it really?
Monday.
I didn't
Wait,
know
that's
that.
his name, Smoke Monday?
Smoke Monday.
That's the
okay.
coolest freaking name I ever heard in my life.
Smoke
It would
Monday.
have been funnier, though, if that was just a mistake.
I'm not even going to lie to those. Smoke? That's
Smoke
dope.
Monday. Yeah, Al.
And
Al,
Tuesday
my
and Wednesday and
research
Thursday?
assistant, is
No.
confirming. No, Smoke Monday.
You just brought the kid out of me when I heard that name. That's the coolest name I ever heard.
Smoke Monday, Crack Thursday. Just throwing it out there.
Reminds me of Smokey from Friday.
Played college football at Auburn, by the way. All right, so the Bills are minus 11.5 against the Jets. I had the Bills minus 11.5 against Green Bay, and they only beat them by 10. Oh, man, it made me so mad. They should have beat them by 17 or 20. They looked like they were sleepwalking a little bit off of their bye. I think they crush the Jets. Now, keep in mind, it's a big spread, but the Bills have won by 21, 24, and 28 already this season. Jeremy, you like the Bills or the Jets with the points?
I got to go with the Bills. I know the Jets have sneaked out a few wins, got a winning record and everything, but I think as the season goes on and the quarterback just doesn't seem up to par there, they're going to start losing games as people expected, and it probably starts right here with this Buffalo game.
I think the Jets cover this game, especially with Sauce Gardner, the walk away favorite for the defensive rookie of the year. I think he's going to lock up Stephon Diggs. And I don't have them winning this game, but I definitely have covering the spread.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, Stephon Diggs is an established.
He's the second
great
best receiver in the league right now.
NFL receiver, and we like Sauce, and that's all been very interesting. But has he been matched up against a receiver like Diggs? I don't think so.
No, not with that course of talent. But
have they played Miami yet?
I believe they have.
So he would have been on
Played Tyreek
Waddle
Hill,
or
Tyreek.
Hill.
Hang on. You know, that's an interesting point. Let's look this up in real time.
I do want to know this. But in my opinion, he's the runaway favorite for defensive rookie of the year. And Stephon Diggs is the second best receiver in football behind Jay Jettas, Justin Jefferson. You know, Justin Jefferson has been having an insane season. I just want to bring that up because I love him. He's one of my favorite players.
The Jets beat the Dolphins 40-17, but Tua did not play in the game.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what Tua out. But he held Tyreek to that. That's still impressive.
Not with Teddy Bridgewater at quarterback. It's not the same
Teddy
thing.
two gloves.
Yeah. I think the Bills just roll over the Jets here. I think their coach was mad that they didn't beat Green Bay by more than they did because they kind of, just were sleepwalking a little bit through the game off the bye. I expect the Bills to absolutely crush the Jets, who are in disarray. Next pick. Would anybody believe if I told you on August 15th, when training camps were starting, that one of the top 5 quarterbacks in the NFL would be playing for the Seattle Seahawks, Jeremy?
I would not have expected that. And I definitely would not have expected it to be Geno, but I'm proud of the guy. I'm happy for him. Go Geno and do your thing. Lead your team. Sneak into the playoffs. I think it's great as long as he's been in the league at this point, how he's bounced around, getting the opportunity, and he's stepping up. So yeah, I'm proud of Geno. I'm happy for the team.
Is there a better player for comeback player of the year than Geno Smith, Christian? I can't hear you, Christian.
Muted, Christian.
I think JJ Watt. I think he could be one of those guys. But no, I think Geno Smith's the runaway. And I know you're gonna love this. Geno Smith is now officially in the top 10 for the MVP voting.
He's number 4 in total QBR for quarterback in the NFL at almost the halfway poll of the season. There is nobody that would have said that would be the case. Nobody.
He is 7th in MVP voting with a plus 3,000 odds.
Oh my God! Who's ahead of him?
Justin Herbert, Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes, Jalen Hurts, and Josh Allen.
Justin Herbert.
What?
Why is he even on that list right now? The team is 4-3.
Yeah,
and he's not pulling them through wins.
Yeah. Well, behind Geno Smith is Kirk Cousins, Christian McCaffrey, and Tua Tagovailoa.
Yeah, I don't think Justin belongs there. He hasn't.
I don't think so either. I think Geno Smith should be in the top 5 in that conversation because Joe Burrow isn't having the best year at all.
No,
he doesn't belong there either.
Line problems have not been solved.
No, but Geno Smith has just been putting on a tear. I said it before the season started. Seattle was going to sneak into the playoffs. I just picked the wrong quarterback.
Right, that was so funny. Yeah, you're like
Drew Lock's that guy.
Lock, my guy, and they're gonna. And then Geno Smith, who knew?
No, I had to give all the props to Geno Smith. I have not been given enough love, and I've been told that by a lot of people who've been watching the show. So here it is right now. Geno Smith is ranked 2nd in PFF among all quarterbacks. He's 1st in touchdown ratings within the red zone. 2nd in touchdown ratings beyond the 40-yard line. And I believe you said he's already top 5 in QBR,
Number 4.
number 4, which is insane. And
Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, the Philadelphia quarterback, and Geno.
and he's the best quarterback under pressure.
It's insane.
He's
It's
ranked
like-
first and under pressure by every stat ever.
It's like Loud Esmond suddenly became the Weight Watchers model of the year. I mean, it would just blow your mind. You would go, "Are you kidding?"
No, and I love what Geno Smith said after the first game. Everyone wrote me out, but I didn't write back. I love that. That is his whole campaign for the year, and he's been a dog. He's been fighting his way through the entire season. I would love to see him make a playoff spot. I would love to see him win the West. I'm a Rams fan, but Geno Smith winning the West would be the feel-good story of the year.
Okay, so let's talk about a pick with the Seahawks this weekend. The Seahawks go to the Cardinals. I love the Seahawks. Not only +2, but to win this game outright. Jeremy.
Yeah, I've got to go with Seattle. I know it's a conference game, but I don't know. There's some magic going on in Seattle right now, and I like it. And I'm on board with Geno and the Seahawks, and I think there's an opportunity here. I think for a high scoring game. The offense is moving a little bit better with Hawkins back in Arizona, but I think Geno and the Seahawks find a way to pull this one out.
Now, there's one thing I do want to talk about that game. Geno Smith's best team he's been playing for his whole career is the Arizona Cardinals. He has his best numbers against them. Now, one player you do need to look out for that's going to have a poor game is DK Metcalf. He's never had over a 60-yard receiving yard game against Arizona and only one touchdown in 7 games.
Look, 2 weeks ago, the Metcalf had to be taken off on a cart to go take a crap and get back on the field, and he still pulled it off and had a good game. So there's that. Now, here's the important thing as far as I'm concerned. The Seattle Seahawks bedevil the Arizona Cardinals. They've won 7 of 11 against the Cardinals no matter where they're played. So out of the last 7 and 11, I can't do the math. 18. They're winning 63% of the time against Arizona, even when Seattle is bad. And P.J. Walker III, that running back from Michigan State, he's beast mode again. And like I said, when they traded Russell Wilson to Denver, I said DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett are possibly a top 3 NFL receiving tandem, and you're taking an older quarterback and putting him with lesser talent, and you expect him to do better? And I said, no, that's not going to happen. So here's where I am. Seahawks plus the points and the money line against the Cardinals. Everybody else, weigh in.
I agree. I completely agree. Seattle's going to torch Arizona, in my opinion. Geno Smith is going to have a game. I think this is going to be the best game of the season.
And by the way, that's Kenneth Walker, the running back in Seattle. PJ
oh,
is
did I
the
say
PJ Walker,
yeah.
quarterback of Carolina
so
right now. Sorry.
But yeah, I like Seattle. I like Geno. I think they pull it out.
Yeah, I completely agree.
All right, so let's have some real fun now. Ready?
Let's hit it.
So I like doing teaser bet cards. Most professional bettors consider them like lottery scratchers. I love them because I can take a point spread and manipulate it in my direction. And here's the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 team parlay bet. I actually have at Snoqualmie Casino this weekend. And I want to hear from everybody about the following. Clemson We lost.
Again, yeah.
Clemson Tigers +3 against the Fighting Irish. Nobody cares on the show but me. I think Clemson's going to beat Notre Dame. Seahawks +8 against Arizona. Solid, bad idea, good idea?
Seahawks +8.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't hate it.
Jeremy.
So yeah, I think it's doable. I don't know if I'd place a bet on 8, but it's not a bad bet.
You don't think the Seahawks have a good chance of even beating Arizona?
Well, yeah, but I would think more like, I'd give them more like a field goal or something like that than I would more than a touchdown. But hey, that's just me. It is a division game, so.
I don't think you understand. I have the Seahawks +8 points.
Oh, okay. I got you.
Okay. Jacksonville Jaguars against the Raiders in Jacksonville. Jaguars +7.5.
Boo.
Will the Raiders beat them by more than a touchdown is the question.
Yes. I truly think they do.
If they win, it'll probably be like a 2-point win.
That's where I am. I think if the Raiders win, it'll be by like the hair of their chinny chin chin chin. Tennessee Titans +19 against Kansas City. Jeremy.
+19.
Yeah, so this is a 7-point teaser bet. Okay, let me explain. There are things called teaser bets where if you have 3 or more teams, you can add between 4.5 and 7.5 points to whatever side of the bet that you want. So this particular bet is Clemson Tigers +3, Seattle Seahawks +8, Jacksonville Jaguars +7.5. Now, Tennessee Titans +19.
Okay. That seems
And
like a
what
lot.
we're asking about now is Titans +19 against Kansas City.
Titans +19.
I sure. I don't know. Seems
Yeah,
like a
I'm on the
lot.
same boat. I'm like, yeah, sure, I guess.
I don't know. I mean,
I'm gonna stay away from that one.
Tennessee Titans have won against the Kansas City Chiefs more than any other team in the NFL in the past 5 years since Patrick Mahomes entered the league. Just FYI. Because you know what Tennessee does, Jeremy? They run the ball.
yeah.
Which keeps Kansas City's offense on the sidelines, which limits their possessions. If the possessions are even, or even one more for Kansas City, Tennessee can't lose by more than a touchdown. New York Jets +18 against the Bills. Jeremy.
Sure. Yeah. Why not? I like it.
I mean, you were saying you don't like the Bills winning by more than like 11.5 or 12, so obviously it goes the other way.
Yeah. You're asking me betting numbers, Lou, and I don't bet. I don't know. You're asking me to do math and numbers. I could just tell you I think this team's going to win or that team's going to win. So.
All right, so Christian,
I don't like it. I don't like it.
You don't like the Jets +18.5?
No.
All right, then I'm going to win my bet on the other side. Okay.
Well, he really likes the sauce. So
Christian, bring up every game in the NFL this weekend, and we will pick winners and losers.
Okay. Indianapolis Colts versus the New England Patriots.
New England.
Where's the game being played?
In New England, -5.5. New England
I got
favorite.
no faith in the Colts for the rest of the season.
Me neither. I
Go
agree.
New England.
Patriots.
I agree. New England wins. This is my game of the week. Miami Dolphins at Chicago, -4.5 Miami.
Yeah, I like Miami in that one.
I do too. I think
Yeah.
Tua is gonna tear it up.
Dolphins.
Dolphins. My other pick of the week: Minnesota in Washington versus the Commanders.
I think it's gonna be a better game than people might expect, actually. And when I'm thinking back about it, when I filled out my little picks of the week on Yahoo or whatever, I think I picked the upset. So I think I picked Washington to upset Minnesota in this
Pick
game.
Washington. I have Minnesota winning that.
Does Washington have that pass rusher coming back?
I don't know if he's ready yet.
No.
I know he's back to practice or soon, but
I
no,
love
I don't think he's playing.
Heineke. I don't trust Minnesota. I'm with Jeremy. I'll go with the Commanders.
All right, so 2-1. Green Bay goes into the Lions Den in Detroit, -3.5. Green Bay.
I'm going with the Lions in this one. I'm going to go with the Lions. I'm going to give them a win here. They're going to upset Green Bay, and it's going to be like their Super Bowl this season, and there you go. I think the Lions.
I know their
pull it
number
out.
one target just left. He's in Minnesota. It's going to be tough for them to win this game without T.J. Hawkinson, in my opinion.
Yeah, they got some
So,
guys.
I got DMT Rogers.
Aaron Rodgers gets some bad. What's it called? The stuff you take when the
Crack.
Shrooms, DMT, acid.
whatever he was taking, the hallucinogenics before the game and loses. Just throwing it out there.
Well, he did it
Let's
almost
go
his entire
Lions.
career. I have Green Bay winning, just because I don't think they're going to win without T.J. Hawkinson. I wouldn't be
Are the
shocked if
Lions
Detroit won
plus
though.
3.5?
Yeah, +3.5.
All right, so I'll take the Lions plus the points.
Rocky just said Minnesota is his pick of the week,
Thanks,
and
Rock.
then we have we already talked Chargers coming for going to Atlanta. We have Buffalo versus the Jets. I said the Jets. Raiders versus Jacksonville. I think we all agreed on those picks.
No,
Except for
no,
Loud.
I took Jacksonville.
Yeah, you took Jacksonville. Carolina goes into to Cincinnati
Panthers plus the points.
+7. I have Cincinnati not winning the game. I mean, not covering the spread, but I have them winning the game.
Yeah, I think Cincinnati will win.
They'll win, but I got the +7.
I think not my pick of the week, but my favorite team, my favorite game to watch this week, Seattle versus Arizona. I think we all agreed on Seattle.
I think it'll be a fun one.
My Los Angeles Rams go to the Goats' house in Tampa Bay, -3.
God, what a fascinating game that is now, given the Rams and the Buccaneers were supposed to be playoff teams and challenging for the Super Bowl and blah, blah, and now they both just suck.
I'm struggling.
Yeah. I don't think either team can separate by more than 3 points.
You know what?
So
I think this is the first time I'm going to say it. I think this game ends in a tie.
almost. Yeah, I agree. I don't think either team can separate that much.
16-16.
Who's getting the points?
Who's getting the points? Who's favorite? Tampa Bay -3 across the
Oh,
board.
I'm taking the Rams.
I agree.
I'm gonna pick
But
the Rams too. Why not?
I just have that, you know what, gut feeling. I think it ends in a tie.
I think Brady's just about done.
Oh, Brady's finished.
I don't think he's finished. He's just having a tough time
You
right now.
see how sucked in his face looks?
We have Tennessee going to Arrowhead Stadium playing the Chiefs.
Tennessee plus the points against the Chiefs.
Kansas City -12.5, in my opinion. Jeremy?
Tennessee upset.
Tennessee upset. Lamar
Tennessee
Jackson.
win.
Lamar Jackson, the Baltimore Raiders, go to New Orleans to play the Saints with the Red Rocket.
I got to go with Baltimore here.
I
I
agree.
think what we saw in New Orleans last week was flash in the pan. I don't think they're as good as they showed last. They're getting better, but I like Baltimore.
Well, as far as the Raiders were concerned, it was a flash in the bedpan. And that's
now-
the way it's going the entire season.
And now we have the undefeated Eagles playing the powerhouse, the mighty, the strong Houston Texans.
We
that
had
game
that
happened
last
night.
week. And I already bet on it. And I
Oh,
won.
yeah. Already
Yeah,
have
that was
Thanks,
last night's
guys.
game.
I'm bowing out. Have a great evening. See you later.
All right. See you, Loud.
it loud.
That's me.
All right. I think that just about wraps everything up. Jeremy, you got anything else to say?
Actually, you know what? Real quick, just before you
Go
go,
ahead,
if
take
you
your
still
time.
have it there, I'm wondering, was there anybody but, or I guess I'm alone now. Never mind.
I'm right here.
Oh, there you are. Okay. Now, I was curious, are there anybody but quarterbacks on that MVP list right now? Like in the
Yeah,
top 10?
Christian McCaffrey.
Just McCaffrey, really?
Just McCaffrey. He's the only one.
No Saquon Barkley, who's taken
That's what I was saying.
a lowly Giants team on his back and got them with 5 wins or something like that.
Daniel Jones is above Saquon Barkley.
What is no? And then in Tennessee, Derrick Henry. He's the reason they're winning.
He's in the top 15.
These guys are putting teams on their back and running with them. They got to get a little more respect.
It's tough. A name I really do want to bring up that's on the MVP list right now, Micah Parsons. Micah Parsons is in the top 10 for MVP voting.
Yeah, no, and I don't have a problem with that. And you don't see enough defensive players be considered, I don't think so.
And, about 2 weeks ago, Cooper Rush was in the top 10 MVP voting. He's still in the top 15.
That's
which
funny.
I love. I love Cooper Rush so much. One of my favorite players in the game so far.
Okay, I just had to know if it was all quarterbacks again, because there's a couple of running backs and a couple of defensive players that I think warrant some serious consideration.
Here, I'll name them off. We have Josh Allen, Jalen Hurts, Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow, Justin Herbert, Geno Smith, Kirk Cousins, Christian McCaffrey, Tua Tagovailoa, Derek Carr, Kyler Murray, Dak Prescott, Justin Jefferson, Micah Parsons, Daniel Jones, Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, Matthew Stafford, Derrick Henry, Jimmy Garoppolo, Saquon Barkley.
At the bottom?
At the bottom.
Did you say Derek Carr?
Derrick Henry.
Derrick Henry.
And
Okay,
Derek Carr's in there, though. Right behind Tua Tagovailoa.
Oh, my. That's horrifying.
He has...
That's terrible, especially over Barkley. No.
A plus 9,200 odds.
Yeah, well, they shouldn't even be that good, so... All right, man. Then, we can wrap it up, Christian. That's
all right, everyone. Thank you
know.
for listening to Steer the Line. It's very good to have you back, Jeremy. I'm sad to say you're going to be gone for another few weeks. We'll see you around playoff time, right?
Yeah, I'll be back for some regular season, but next couple of weeks I'll be down in Mexico, so I'm going to go enjoy my vacation.
Well, thank you very much, Jeremy, and thank you everyone else to listen to Steer the Line.
Go Raiders.